Good evening, everybody. We got here a 1v1 Arabia, just a classic Arabia between Fire and SongSong. So let's get right into it. We do have in the red playing as the Sicilians, Fire, and then his enemy in the blue playing as the Bulgarians is going to be SongSong. So two newer civilizations, obviously not the newest, but both with their own unique tower slash castle type buildings. Obviously the Sicilians having their donjons, so that could be something that could lead to aggression. And then for the enemy Bulgarians, we do have the Krepos. So we'll see if we do get either of those. They could be pretty devastating early in the game just because they're so much cheaper than a castle, and both actually pretty strong buildings. I will fast forward a little bit as we go through the Dark Age. Both players just doing a little bit of scouting. Easy wall offs, realistically, for SongSong here. Nothing too crazy. This is a little bit of a distance, but should be doable to wall with a few houses and palisades. And then when we take a look at Fire, he's already started some walling off with a house or two. And again, pretty fair. So not completely closed off, both of them, but they are also not wide open, right? So that is a good thing. And a barracks already up, and we will see militia coming out. So I will slow down to normal speed as we do have a Bulgarian Dark Age rush. Something that, you know, having a drush and then a fast castle, or even a drush to go into feudal, is something that is really important nowadays in the meta. And the scout going right into the town center, that is horrific. Look at the HP and it goes down. Losing a scout when you are going forward with man-at-arms, never a situation you want to be in, especially because you want to be scouting out, seeing exactly where the enemy's resources are, what they have available. And when you look at the map, he knows nothing other than where the town center is and a secondary gold. He doesn't even see the wood lines, so that is going to be drastic. And of course, Fire is already on the way up to the feudal age. Big advantage with that kill, and with the scouting he's still able to do. But these militia, they're going to come in. They're still going to try to get as much damage as possible, as he is walling back at home. So palisades with these houses and barracks, he will be walled up fairly easily. It's another reason you want to see a scout would be so much quicker to just wall there. But I mean, at the end of the day, not going to make a huge difference when it comes to palisade walling. And these two militia, not going to do too much damage, as the villagers are fully walled in, and a barracks of his own has gone up for the Sicilian player in Fire. So scouting around a little bit, trying to see what's going on. This wall off is going to be expensive, but not crazy. And just open on the front right now, so palisades there, and we'll likely see more palisades going into these berries as we get further on in the game. The militia just attacking a mining camp right now, so not doing too much damage. Realistically, sure, they've wasted a little bit of resources building up palisade walls, but not too bad. And a archery range already coming down. So these militia will be cleaned up. But the one thing to note is that Fire will be trying to get a bit aggressive in this feudal age. But already we have full walls for the Bulgarian player. So that's not going to be too much of a problem, as he is fully walled in right now. He will be in the feudal age fairly quickly, so this scout not going to be able to do too much damage. Might be able to get a couple shots, waste some time if it is microed properly. But I much prefer the position of Fire. Look at the score difference right now. Of course, a lot of that is the scouting, of course. Scouting so much more for Fire than for the enemy. And a little bit of a villager lead for Fire right now. And he knows that he's got that bit of an advantage. As archers are coming out, blacksmith already being dropped. But this scout is kind of stuck in the back as a spearman is coming out to protect against the scout. Still have goats underneath the town center, so that will be providing some food in the meantime. Fire is not going to be anywhere close, and SongSong not anywhere close to clicking up to the Castle Age. They're going to go for some aggression in the Feudal Age, and already we see 2 archers moving forward, and this spearman gets one shot, just one shot for now, and the scout going to run close to this palisade where he knows that the archers will be able to protect him. So the archers shooting over the walls, disrupting the berries, but for the most part, just looking to break through a little bit as the skirmishers are now forward. The spearman gets another shot out, and the skirms actually get quite a few shots on that one archer. So this scout is going to be injured, so he is going to start to just run around. Doesn't want to be engaging against this spearman at all, and we're going to start to see archers start to mass up for fire. Just running around right now for the scout in the south of the Bulgarian base. He can loop around no problem, but for now, the scout becomes less and less valuable as time goes on. So we'll see what exactly comes out of that. As man-at-arms for the Bulgarians, of course, being the Bulgarians, as you can see here, they do get those free militia line upgrades, so that is something to note, that he didn't have to purchase the man-at-arms, it just happens automatically once he hits the next stage. But this one archer, with the proper micro, should be no problem taking out these 2 man-at-arms, and more archers are starting to mass up as a forward stable has been dropped and some scouts are going to be coming out. It's only skirmishers right now in response for the Bulgarian player, but he does have options. Taking a look at the economies, Fire does still have that 1 villager lead, almost 2 as a matter of fact, as there is a little bit of a discrepancy there. But nothing too serious at this point in time. This scout not going to do too much damage, but once we get multiple scouts and a group of archers with fletching, that's when the story starts to change. So skirmishers really good against archers, but you get to a certain number and you get a couple scouts in there, and those skirmishers are going to get torn apart. Going to try and break in through the wall here, as there are 2 scouts, and tower has to be dropped. That's never a situation you want to be in, is dropping a tower, but it's always a better option than being stuck with a torn apart base. So house walling behind here, and as a result, Fire chooses, alright, I'll just go to the other side of this palisade wall. You build that tower over there, I'm not even going to attack over there. So we see a gate get dropped, and this scout will finally go down, and just some walls behind. That should be enough for now. Gonna try to funnel through this little area, and you know, not gonna want to be doing that if you are Fire, but ultimately not gonna be too big of a deal. Archer's going down for Fire, but he does have the advantage, and he is on his way to the next stage. So gonna want to retreat here, save those archer numbers while he can, and he's gonna keep massing them, and then he's going to want to get to crossbow. He's gonna want to get that tech advantage early on. Because of the engagement that was happening at that point in time, SongSong might not have noticed the jump up in score, and so he might not know that the enemy is on the way to the next stage. He sees massing of scouts and of archers, but now we have bloodlines coming in. We have the first defense upgrade. We will be seeing knights out of the Sicilian player, and knights will be able to tear right through these palisades so quickly. As a result, the Bulgarian player dropping a stable of his own, trying to do what he can, as he is also on the way up to the next stage, but just a little bit behind, both on the same number of villagers. And interesting to see if we will see a second and third town center for the Sicilian player, or if he's just going to go straight into aggression. Both have their merits. He has been delaying the economy of SongSong for quite a while, just with little delays of these villagers having to run back and forth, even having the skirmishers walking amidst this forest blocking in villagers. It's just irritating, and of course lots of extra build-up. And so 2 knights already on the way as soon as Castle Age hits, and double archery range is coming up in response. More skirms. So the Bulgarian player of SongSong thinks the enemy is going to be going full crossbows. So these skirmishers will become less and less valuable as time goes on. But he is not just palisade walled. He is fully walled other than the back of his base. So he will be safe for the time being against these knights. Just such a big jump going from a feudal age army to knights. That causes such a huge impact early on, and a monastery is coming up in the back as a response. SongSong playing very good defense, but not quite yet on the offensive, as the Sicilian player is building his second town center here. And of course the Sicilians, starting with that extra stone, a big advantage when you want to be dropping TCs. He could even drop a tower and a town center, which is very unique for the Sicilians. The Bulgarian player going for cavalry archers to get a little bit of an advantage, and that spearman should have been knocked off pretty early, as the armies are starting to balance out a little bit. Now 12 to 16, not a huge difference, but this many archers and knights, you don't want to be running too far forward with just a small group. And smart of Fire, that's something that, you know, doesn't happen all the time, is picking up the relics early on. If you're building monks anyways, you may as well be collecting up these relics. And this town center is going to be built forward. That's going to protect that side of his base pretty well, as the knights swoop in, take out the skirmishers as they're attacking the archers, and more knights chasing after those cavalry archers. So Fire 1, 2, and then his third town center. And when we switch over to SongSong, just on the 2 for now, and no third coming up yet. Just got dropped, so he's going to start building that now. So that will keep him pretty up with the number of villagers, but it won't give him a huge advantage. Deciding to run into the town center. Not a good idea to be running underneath it right now, and lots of free shots coming in. The cav archers, none fall, but lots of HP damage completed there, as these archers are just sitting over here. And we do see a little bit of siege coming out for the Sicilian player. And Light Cav coming forward, taking out the monks. Light Cav is a very unique choice, and the quick walls do save this town center. Light cavalry, of course, could have ran in there. If the cavalry archers were on the other side, these villagers would have no hope. And a bit of back and forth. A knight gets converted, gets some free shots, and they lose one. So that is big. And these cavalry archers are getting to a critical mass where they're going to be able to engage directly against the knights. Not just running around hitting and running, but able to actually stop and engage against the knights. And the large amount of light cavalry that are sitting here. Lots of farms coming up for Fire. Of course, Sicilians having that strong economy with their farm upgrades. So farms very strong for the Sicilians. And a free monk gets taken out by the cavalry archers, as archers are sitting in the back on this wood line again. This wood line has been harassed multiple times by the same small group of archers. So doesn't get a Vil pick, but does just disrupt and cause damage where possible. And the skirmishers, again, the same group of skirmishers, going to move forward and hopefully finally take these archers out. Both of these players all in right now for military. They've got their economy rolling. They've got their 1, 2, 3 town centers going, and they know that what they need to do is engage. Ooh, not a good move by these light cavalry, stuck inside the walls. Gonna run around, try to do as much damage on the economy as possible, but you don't want to be stuck inside the walls, as one light cav might be able to get 1 or 2 kills of the villagers, and that will give a little bit more of a lead to fire, but it's not quite the amount that he needed, and the light cavalry do run away. Will they engage against the skirmishers? Of course they will. Take out the skirmishers, even take out this forward villager that was building the house up here. So, not horrible for those light cavalry. At least 1 survives, but not ideal at all. As 4 scorpions are coming up, these scorpions are going to do massive damage against the already weakened cavalry archers. But look how many there are. There are 24 cavalry archers moving forward, gonna try to engage where possible, do some hit and run, but with all of the town centers, that is 4 town centers, and now a castle being dropped to protect the back of his base. It's going to be hard for these cavalry archers to get in, but if they can get close to this castle right now, deny the castle, even get a couple kills, but they don't make it in time, and the castle just up in time. That is big. Look at this scorpion, the damage it's doing on these cavalry archers. Of course, in small numbers, can be microed properly, but not liking this engagement for the cavalry archers. This is bad. The scorpion's getting lots of kills, and the light cavalry just running forward. Look at these light cavalry dropping, and the HP on these light cavalry now only 15, as the knights were able to run. I totally missed that underneath the town center, do lots of damage, and those 8 knights having +2 defense, able to engage underneath those just so well, and these light cavalry dropping like flies as we see how low the HP is, and only 8 remain. These 8 knights gonna try to engage against the cavalry archers. Cavalry archers gonna hit and run as they do best, and deciding to just engage against the light cavalry with these cavalry archers. Would have liked to unite the 2 groups, but not possible at this point in time, and the Sicilian economy really helping out Fire right now as he is on the way up to the Imperial Age. Once the Imperial Age is hit, we will have to see a quick response from SongSong, but not sure if he has it at this point in time. Able to take out that scorpion, but there are 5 looping in behind. And with these light cavalry coming out, they're able to get shot down fairly quickly, but these scorpions are going to do damage from behind, and he's going to need to run with these cavalry archers, or they will be falling. This many bolts from scorpions is going to take out any sort of cavalry archer army, especially when they clump up together. And a switch to stables for the Bulgarian player. He is getting the armor upgrades right now. He's even making an archer, throwing that in there. That might have been a misclick. And this large group of scorpions. Oh, these hits are huge. Look at the... Oh my goodness, those cavalry archers falling all over the place. And the scorpions just turn around and engage against this small army now. Such a good weapon when you are up against any sort of archer unit. But the Krepos, can he win with cavalry and Krepos? So knights, scouts coming out, and he will be wanting to take out as much as possible these siege units as the Imperial Age is now hit. And what is up SongSong's sleeve? Can he revive himself and get back into this? SongSong is way behind when it comes to points, but these knights now cleaning up these scorpions that have done so much damage against him. The knights, just 2 of them, able to do that much damage as stone walls are coming in to protect SongSong's economy, expand over to these other gold piles. That's a lot of gold right there. 6 times 800, so we're seeing lots of gold, but on the other side, more gold and stone protected by this Sicilian castle. And the cav archers running right underneath the town center, able to take out some knights, 1 or 2 villagers, lots of idle time, but 1 conversion, 2 conversions, and that is it. Those monks go down. And now we are seeing the Cavalier upgrade come in. We have attack upgrades coming in, and it is harder and harder for SongSong to be engaging against this army. He does have large amounts of gold, but food and wood is where he's starting to struggle a little bit, as he's now dropping barracks of his own. Pikemen are needed out here, but it's just not enough. Just the constant pressure of the Sicilian players and backed by the strong Sicilian economy. That is a good example of how strong that economy can be when it is protected.